Happy Sunday, folks. Hope you're all doing well and safe, people. Deluded, I'm back again. This is the first of two live bits of content from myself. Don't forget, it's Arsenal versus Newcastle. So our last game at home, we will be doing a watch along. I'll be live from 3:30. Big up you lot watching this at the moment. Big up you lot on Twitch. Smash the like button. And again, people, Mikel Arteta has apparently given an interview on Sky Sports and spoken about some stuff. Rayan Cherki has signalled his intention to obviously leave Lyon. You lot know I'm a big fan of his. As they scored the winner against Manchester City for Crystal Palace, and I mean, to say his stock is rising or risen's an understatement, but he's going to have plenty of admirers. And for Crystal Palace, obviously, big up them. Congratulations to them for winning the FA Cup. I'm pretty sure they might face a fight to hold on to their manager, Mark Gurhey and Eze in particular. And Adam Walton's stock is rising. Again, on the topic of that, as it's Sunday, you know, many religions, regardless of what religion, see Sunday as a holy day, a day of reflection, a day of peace. And I think in life, there's a lot of lessons. I think in life, you need to stay humble. You really need to stay humble. You know, you never know. You cannot mock someone because life has a funny way of putting you in certain situations. You know, you've got to stay humble. You was humble, Haaland, you know, top striker, generational striker kind of thing. Passing the buck at Wembley in the final for a penalty could never be my goal, man. Are they still talking about Mr. Golden Boy Phil Foden? The agendas are rising, and you know, football fans, young and old, I love it. I can't lie, man. Hopefully, he's still crying. Welcome to football. This is football, young fellow, young and old. I want to see tears. Lord knows, as an Arsenal fan, I've shed enough tears. I ain't got tears or sympathy for anyone else, but. Mate, welcome, man. You young lad, you supported City at the best time. You were in that main road in the early days prior to Pep Guardiola. All you knew is winning. Hope your school friends give you shit on Monday, man. It is what it is. Football is back, in my opinion. We're seeing coaching and medical staff going at it. Again, on topic of being humble and staying humble, Pep Guardiola, what are you doing? You know, Dean Henderson, I'm sure Manchester United loved that. 2 FA Cup finals, 2 defeats recently. And at least, you know, we're going to hear it from Crystal Palace. We're going to hear it from Newcastle. We're going to hear it from Liverpool with Slot. We're going to hear it plenty of times about what phase is this guy in, what phase is that guy in. If they win a trophy, have they had a more successful season? Even in their worst years, they still win trophies, yada, yada, yada. Not today, Pep Guardiola. Sorry, Guardiola. What has Marcel said? Surprised you ain't going to TalkSport today and leaving the community hanging again. What happened? You didn't get the call up. I didn't, man. But, you know, it is what it is, man. You don't always get first team football. You just need to stay ready, stay waiting. When Yeri settings, man. As long as the show continues, man. Pep going outside, no need, man. Like, be humble, bro. Be humble. Congratulations to Eddie Nketiah and Matt Turner. I'm seeing Spurs fans run the agenda. Oh, they left to win trophies, which is true. Big up them. But last time I checked, Eddie Nketiah and Matt Turner, they were here when we last won something, you know what I mean? But anyways, again, Mercy, Alexander Lacazette. Unfortunately, apparently his house was robbed and whoever stole from his house stole items worth tens of thousands. But Lacazette is set to leave Lyon at the end of the season. Big up yourself, Lacazette. He scored a couple of goals yesterday, forgive me if I'm wrong. And it was quite emotional. Now, if we look at what Mikel Arteta has said, I must admit, I don't really want to hear this, man. DJ only does UCL on TalkSport. No, not true. Whenever the call comes, we were there, man. In their worst year, they got relegated. Boy, big up Abdullah. Shout out Hyper, shout the mods. The grin on Haaland's face before telling Arteta to stay humble. He really tried to rattle Arteta. Shout out to Arteta, but again, I know football's different. But could you imagine if that was Sir Alex Ferguson with all the Man United legends, or if that was Arsene Wenger being pushed by Haaland and you have Lauren, Thierry Henry and the rest of them? I hear we try to do the gentleman thing. Sometimes you have to show people we're not to be played with. Anyways, Mikel Arteta allegedly has revealed he envisionized Arsenal lifting the Premier League title on the final home game of this season, and has called on his club to boost his squad in the summer transfer window as part of a very exciting summer. I'm at the point, smash the like button, big up you lot. But yeah, excitement, Berta coming in. You know, we are Netflix FC next season, FC great. Alone at this point, I'll believe we've won the league title when I see us lifting the trophy. I'll believe summer can be exciting when I see people through the door holding shirts, because this is how the club mind games people. And at the end of the day, out of all the competitions, yeah, if you look at the Champions League, which is probably our most perfect run as we hit this point of reflection, the Champions League, the Premier League, the League Cup, the FA Cup. All right, Champions League and Champions League and the League Cup, you got to a semi-finals. I'm very disappointed with how we performed across the 2 legs against Newcastle, who have had our number, and we've obviously got them later today. All right, cool. Champions League, all right. It is what it is, innit? You get to a semi-finals, you start to dream. I feel the Champions League for Arsenal, anyways, the Champions League campaign is near enough to perfect. Our shittest performance across all 4 competitions is the Premier League. We've never been in this title race, and it pains me to say, congratulations to Arsenal and Liverpool. We were never in it. City are behind us. They were on top of the league table more times than us. I'm sure even Man United, obviously Liverpool, we never made a real go of it. And I think a lot of it is a consequence of what we did or didn't do in the summer, having the depth, having the quality, keeping players fit, different solutions, etc. Now, it's a bit weird because we've got 3-4 defeats, and you obviously need to look at when you lose as to how you can get better. The draws, there's not one singular reason. I think there's many different ingredients in what serves as a cocktail of our season. But yeah, man, it is what it is. Even if those 14 draws, and it could even be 15 today, could have been halved, what conversations are we having? But you lot let yourselves down, man. We let ourselves down. I feel sorry for the players. Obviously, they're the ones playing. I don't feel sorry for Mikel Arteta. He ain't involved. 2022-23, great attacking football. Last season, great defensively. You haven't evolved, haven't found ways to pivot when things are going wrong. The people above you, Mikel Arteta, because I criticize you and praise you, I think your heart's in the right place. You look at the summer, all right, cool. We didn't do what needed to be done. January tells me everything I need to know, because if we just consider the fact that, let's just assume Mikel Arteta was deluded, I know, and thought we don't need any players. We all know the climate in January, right? Let's just assume he said he didn't want any players. Those above him, if you're genuinely serious about rescuing this title challenge, getting over the line, really getting over the line off the back of 2 seasons coming into now, you don't do what we did not do in January. We got to remember, yeah, we were offered Ollie Watkins. We didn't get him, but we didn't go and get him. That tells me everything. The bubble is burst. It's serious self-reflection. You lot have shot yourselves in the foot from start to finish. At the start of the season, if I had to visualize that moment, it would be playing the last home game on the final day and lifting the Premier League. That's what I had in my head. All right, fair enough. Laws of attraction, thoughts become things, manifestation, all that kind of jazz, people. Now, with everything we've gone through in the last 11 months, I think we can all hold our heads up, but still have that pain in the tummy. But why for that? Because that's what we want to achieve. Arsenal have now gone 5 straight seasons without silverware, having been knocked out of the Champions League Carabao Cup semi-finals, while they were knocked out of the FA Cup 3rd round by Manchester United on penalties. Congratulations to Man United. And yeah, penalties, luck of the draw, it is what it is. We all know it shouldn't have got to that. We should have put the ball in the back of the net. We haven't got clinical players. We can, and I've been saying this for years, we can hide behind, yeah, we've got 100 odd goals. We are going to score goals. But when it truly matters, who's going to get those goals? Who are you going to bet your hat on currently in this squad in August is going to get X amount of goals? It's only Bukayo Saka in the front line. And then if we're keeping it a buck, it's probably Kai Havertz. He's surely still our top goal scorer in the Premier League. It feels like we need too many things to go right for us to get to where we want to get to. And obviously, again, my energy is not with the players. I think they've been running to the ground. I don't think they've been helped. I've seen players play with injury, players that I don't necessarily rate, do a thing. I feel sorry for the players. Gaffer, you ain't involved. People above you, excluding Berta because he just walked in, you have to hang your heads in shame. Because, yeah, you got Champions League, you're back in you got Champions League football again, and it's a semi-final since 2009. But at the end of the day, I think you lot have been bloody good in the last 3 years, not really so much this year. You haven't got over the line. And it's down that point, regardless of the trophy. And I think, I can't pronounce his name, Glasnier, he said it rightly, you know, for the fans to be able to give them happiness away from their private and professional lives and love football. There's nothing set in stone. There's nothing. And if I'm the players, I'm looking around at people above Mikel Arteta. Very funny. I don't think the players have down tools and they've given up on the guy and all of that. But as a football club, you're not moving serious. We're either the best thing since sliced bread to some, we're the worst thing to others. The truth is in the middle. We've got some good foundations, some good things to build upon, but we're not doing enough to get over that line. And 3-4 years is long. There has been regression. I said in the summer, we're either going to go up the gears several levels or we're going to go down. In the champs, probably gone up the levels. Premier League, it's been horrible. The points dropped from winning positions, the cheap goals that we've conceded. You know, sometimes we've not been able to necessarily win at our worst. A lot of the time, we've dropped stupid points from winning. The statistics around dropping points from winning positions and actually conceding goals from set pieces. Even if in these 3 years, yeah, we was heading into the summer, so our 4th year. Even if we had a great 3 years where we won a Premier League title, so picked up some domestic cups, maybe even won the Champions League this year, I still maintain this is a very important summer. 3 years is a long time for people to be together. The squad needs to evolve. If you don't evolve in life, you die. From a footballing sense, we have died. And again, it shows how far we've come because I'm not excited or happy. We're not even set in zone to finish second. I'm not happy to be second or to say we got to 2 semis. That just tells me there's something here. We are not that shit. Think about it logically. As much as people want to run jokes about Arsenal, we have to hold that. We are getting bantered for not getting over the line and not winning trophies. If people expect you to win trophies away from agendas, you've got to be a decent side. Anywho, moving away from that, as I said, there's not one reason. There's red cards, there's plenty of variables that have played a part that are out of our control. And I think there's more that's been in our control. Having the depth, having the quality, being able to pivot on the fly during games. We can't just bury our heads in the sand. But football's an emotional game. Whatever helps you sleep at night. Apparently, Arteta said red cards and injuries for sure. The Gunners have endured more injuries than any other Premier League team this season, while 6 sending-offs are also a division high. Maybe there's something around discipline. Clearly, there's something around how we are judged with referee and elsewhere. Injuries. Because there's been 3 different years, 3 very different contexts. And the bottom line is we haven't got over the line. So how do we do that? We have seen what one injury can do. Where Saliba a couple of years ago. We saw last year, everyone was relatively fit. Did you have Thomas Partey, Tomiyasu and Timber? We've obviously seen this year, and kind of what's happened this year, we've seen that at other clubs. We all said we don't have the depth when everybody's fit, if you assume everybody's fit at the football club. And even when you say if everybody's fit and you stress test our squad, anyone can get injured, even the more durable players, as you've seen with Rice, with Saka, with Martinelli, you get where I'm going. We ain't put our best foot forward. So I'm not really trying to hear this, man. I'm not really trying to hear this. But anyways, but without that, we don't know what would have happened. Would we have been much closer? For me, the answer is without a question. Yeah, probably closer. But again, would we have got over the line with everyone's fit? Probably not. Because of what we've been producing and the performances that we've had. But we're going to do something else next season because the bar will be raised. You don't need to rise the bar internally. And externally, there's going to be a lot of pressure. Smash the like button. When you look at the points that we've had in the last 3 years, the consistency of not winning a title is very rare. It's true. But again, learning from others. Liverpool have been the only team City are going to be back next year, but Liverpool have been the only team that have won a couple of battles. If it was a war, they lost the war. Everybody's lost the war against City because City have won more than everyone else. But they've shown it can be done. And yeah, you could look at the points this season and the points we had last season and think we can win. That's great, but that's nothing to do with this present moment. We've seen Liverpool get 90 odd points and not win the title. So we know the margins are fine. Mikel Arteta, you know the margins are fine. Forget what you've done at Arsenal and whatnot. Have you not worked at City? Oh, you can't stand in the rain and complain you're wet, man. This is where I find this, if I'm honest, this is just fucking excuses, bro. And it's not wrong, but there needs to be balance to it. Anyways, so we are very close in probability so much. We have to continue to be there and be better. We need to evolve. This is probably the season Arteta as a manager, forget Arsenal for a sec, has to learn. One number is availability. Without that one, you have no chance to win anything, which I think Arteta is a bit annoyed at people above him because he keeps saying them kind of comments recently. There's some other statistics that are very, very relevant to winning football matches, not just dominate them, but to win them. Just put the ball in the back of the net. Put the ball in the back of the net. Simple as that. Kill games when you need to kill games. And if you can't win, don't lose. But we are very clear on what brings success to us and what we have to do, then work on them, be more efficient and be better. The other one is capacity to change games every 3 days and during the match. That's where we have a big margin. Okay, cool. I'm with that. If you look at Arsenal's contracts expiring in the next 2 years, Berta, as we know, has got a lot to focus on. Partey, there's rumours of signing a new deal. At this moment in time, his deal is running out at the end of the season. Jorginho's linked with going back to Brazil. Trossard, there's rumours of a new deal. As it stands, it ends in 2026. I think Trossard, like Tomiyasu, have the option of another year, but there's something there. And Tomiyasu, I think it purely comes down to availability, and your days are numbered if we get another season where you've played 6 minutes. Zinchenko, obviously, unfortunately, big up you on your debut season, but we've evolved past you, Zinchenko. You could only stay if we fail to get offers for you or you don't accept anything, and maybe you're used more in a rotationary kind of role, maybe even in midfield. I'm not saying these things would have worked, yeah, but again, kind of going back to what I said about Arteta needs to learn. Sometimes needs must, and he's done things because needs must. And I'm not saying these things would have worked, but can you at times, if Odegaard's struggling, I know you're set on your ways, and I know Zinchenko probably isn't as good off the ball as Odegaard, but could Zinchenko be used in midfield? Could we have seen Martinelli up front a lot sooner? And various little bits and pieces that we've spoken about. You need to learn. Bukayo Saka, Saliba, Gabriel Martinelli, and Gabriel Jesus are all up in 2027. Some are clearly more priorities than others. Where you look at Gabriel Jesus, again, you earn a lot of money. You and Zinchenko, really and truly. So yeah, we've struggled, man. What else has he said? We need that for sure with the numbers that we started this season and the numbers to provide for next season with the demands we're going to have, and especially with players that we have who are coming through long-term surgeries, is very unrealistic to deliver trophies. Again, Arteta and the players, that's one thing. But again, Those above you. You lot weren't serious then. This means you lot winged it. This tells me, if I'm looking at it sinister, those above you, you lot didn't want to win a trophy. You lot would like to win a trophy. You're cool with Champions League. You didn't put your best foot forward. Start as you mean to go on in the summer. January, you did nothing. Tells me everything I need to know. Tells me everything. Anywho's people. So we knew we was winging it. We know that. We have to address that, and we're going to do everything we can to improve it. I hope so, man. Because like on a football pitch, I don't doubt that Mikel Arteta and the players. You'd be an idiot if you thought that the players and of all clubs didn't want to win games. But if you don't win games on the pitch, your intentions there. Why didn't you? You can try as you want to sign players. Please, September the 1st. Make sure we've added quality to the starting 11. Please make sure we've got amicable depth, because injuries are unpredictable and they can happen. But I promise you, I can only speak for myself. In the summer, if we had the window that I think we needed in terms of quality and depth, and the same thing played out with injuries, do you know what I could say? Fair enough, because you've actually evidently tried to fix the situation. This just really highlights the incompetence. You was assuming everybody stayed fit. Players that are in good form weren't gonna, like, their form wasn't gonna drop. Players that were having a bit of a wobble were gonna get good form. No refereeing decisions were gonna go against us. No spanners in the works. That's not how life or football works. But I'm just an armchair expert, man. Anywho's, man. So I think I hear that, especially because we are going to lose quite a lot of players. That's interesting, because who's going on paper? On paper, it's what? Trossard, Partey, their deals are running. Sorry, Jorginho and Partey. What does that tell me? There's a lot of turnover, and this would have needed to happen. 3 to 4 years for a squad is a very long time without replenishing it. There are players out of contract. Oh, Tini as well. There are players who have come here on loan. Sterling, Neto, safe. So the squad becomes really thin on top of the injuries that we have. And what did he say earlier? We've got players coming back from long-term surgery, and players have played through the mud. Ben White, Rice, Martinelli, Kai Havertz, flipping Saka, Magalhaes. I feel sorry for the players, because you lot have given me everything. Whether I can criticize if you're good enough, if you should be at the club, if you should be playing football, I've never had to doubt the players this season's integrity, and everybody in that squad, really. So the squad becomes really thin we already know that, on top of injuries that we have. We know we have that duty, that necessity. We have players in the academy that can help, great. But if not, we know what we have to do. And then he said, people, everything that is in both boxes that makes you better, I think at the end of the day, it's a key element. We all know that. Sign a blood clot, Shaq, and stop the nonsense. Then he said he's promised a very exciting summer. I mean, Nanny, RIP, God bless your soul. You always told me a promise is a comfort to a fool. So, yeah, you can do the club. And I'm not even trying to get Arteta the club. You can do this bullish chat and do all of that. And some people will fall for it. And I hope you deliver. Seeing is believing, in it. I know I'm not going to wake up and we've got Mbappe, Vinicius, Rodrigo, this one, that one. Definitely not half of the players that we're linked with, but you get the point. It's going to be a very exciting summer. Bro, you man said that and rocked up with Raheem Sterling. So allow me, man. First of all, renewing what we have done, finding ways to increase the level of the team, finding big margins where we can still develop our game model and our players, then putting those plans together, playing the preseason. And then if we don't have enough from that, then it's about what do we need to recruit now to make the difference. Since day one, when we were interviewing for that role and we had it in front of him, it was very clear that this is, for me, what the squad needs to do to go to the next level. And we're very aligned. In Berta, we trust. And you can tell the experience he has. He's built great squads, and the majority trophies he's won. Someone with that clarity is very, very helpful. I hope so, and we're going to need you in Berta. We trust. I don't know how much one man can change things, because I think there's a complacency in life's a killer. And I think there's an element of complacency with our manager. Those above you, anyone that, those above Mikel Arteta, the whole club's been complacent. The fuck is this year? Apologies for swearing. Because it's you lot that are going to have to live with regret, As much as I love Arsenal Football Club and my heart bleeds that we ain't won a trophy in this, at the end of the day, but I've seen this for about 20 years, and I'm going to be an Arsenal fan till the day I take my last breath. Some of you lot, whether that's the manager or the players, you might win stuff here, and I hope to God you do. Some of you might, if your name's Saliba and Saka and you go to other clubs one day, if we're not winning stuff, you might go win trophies, but you might not. They're not guaranteed. Some of you at this football club, you've got a sweet gig. You won't be in semi-finals and title challenges and even talking about getting over the line elsewhere. My point being, you're going to have to live with regret. You lot are going to have to sit and linger in the summer and think about it. Regret, what you're happy for, what you're not. Ultimately didn't win anything. And we're at that point of the season now where you're seeing several cup finals. Liverpool have obviously had their parade. And you lot, you know, the same ones that saw us lead the title for 200 odd days, 2022, 23. Obviously, we know how the last day of the season played out last year, to the point where there was probably the Premier League trophy at the Emirates, and obviously where City were playing, and the Guard of Honor. You've got to use this to fuel you. And I feel sorry for the players, because you're at the point you need help from people above you. So it's long now, man. Like, shit, you lot did this to yourself, bro. Like, you did this to yourself, man. You did this to yourself. Would you guys sell Martinelli and or Trossard? I think everything's up for debate. I'd rather sell Trossard. He's older. It seems like there's a bit of a market. How much are you going to get for Martinelli, really and truly? You're getting Jota and Watkins. What Jota? Liverpool's. I don't think so, but if he could stay fit, I wouldn't be against it. He could help us. Bro, what's the perfect realistic summer look like for you in terms of sales and purchases? I don't know, but in terms of personnel, a striker, a left winger, a centre mid, maybe even two. I do think we need defensive reinforcements. I need to start the goalkeeping situation. And in terms of outgoings, obviously, you know, keep Partey. I'm not really going to rate Jorginho leaving because his contract's up, Tini's up. You need to get the Tavares. Well, Tavares is gone, but the Tavareses, the Lokongas, the Fabio Vieiras. I'm not naive. I don't think 11 players are coming in and 11 players are going, but we need to fix up, because when Edu and Arteta first came in, yeah, we was ripping up contracts and doing all of that. We kind of steadied the ship in that regards. And now, because of time that's followed, we're kind of in that scenario again. Like, you know me, I don't care about how much players are getting paid and all of that. But in terms of a business, there's players on wages that they're not delivering on. So these things need to change. Well, okay, you know me. I don't want to hear that, bro. Like, I don't want to hear that from Mark the Gaffer. It's dead. Like, I don't think he's wrong. We got more. If we had the points we had this year, then yeah, we win the league. But that's dead, because as I said, Liverpool have won the league with less points this year than when times they've not. That's the point. No two seasons are the same. And at the end of the day, rather than there's so much internal reflection that we need to find new ways of playing. We need to go up the gears again defensively. We obviously, a lot of it is centered around recruitment and Arteta being inflexible at times. We need to go up the gears. It's as simple as that. We have shot ourselves in the foot. The number of draws, the number of points dropped from winning positions. When we exhaust all of those things and go in depth with that, then we can look at other teams and say this and that. When we do all of that, then I might even look at refereeing decisions, which, don't get it twisted, I do think Arsenal are judged one way and another, but from a Sunday League background, you've got to expect that, man. But it is what it is, man. I don't want to keep rambling. It is what it is, man. The longer you don't get a trophy is what it is. And if we go back in time, please don't play, because we don't need copyright issues. But going back to the last day of last season, don't be satisfied, because we want much more than that, and we're going to get it. That's from the manager. But if I put the managers, the players, and everyone connected that Arsenal in the room and played that to them and how this season played out, do you think you followed through on that goal? Probably not. So, yeah, the past brings regrets. The future brings uncertainty. There's no time like the present. We need to fully accept where we are in this present moment and build for a new future. Everything that we could benefit from tomorrow needs to start today. And a lot of it's centered around recruitment. We're carrying too many players. It's too nice. It's too nice now. And I mean, I don't know if you lot saw it, people, but this week Arteta also spoke on transfers and said, the thing is that the budget is like when you have your wedding, you plan your wedding with your wife, you give her a budget and never less, it's always more. When you build a house, it's always more. Normally this happens. You prepare for different scenarios. Then unfortunate things happen. Sometimes we get a player and suddenly we have an injury, or that player gets injured. There are so many variables that can happen, but there's a budget. There's always an idea of what we can do and what we can improve, what the priorities are going to be. Then let's see if we can do it. There's no let's see, bro. It has to get done. I'm not even saying all the players are going to work, but I think as Arsenal fans, we always in this. Like, you go back to when we signed Partey, we know we needed an 8 and a 6. We think with our them times. A lot of fans, no, we need more of an 8. We need more of a 6. In previous years, we might have been going into this summer. Nah, you need a striker, left. We know we need both, but I more want a left winger. I more want a striker. You need to get everything. You've gone past that now. Striker, left winger, centre mid reinforcements, which I think is understated. Everything needs to work from a recruitment point of view. Definitely where income is a concern. There's no excuses, but I really don't want to hear nothing really. It's always I think it's always a decision that all of us have come together. Then obviously in certain aspects, the club, the financial aspects, whether it's the strategy or this and that, they have a bigger say than me, because I don't want to have an opinion on that. I would have probably I would have probably a reference, but not a strong opinion. When it's more technical or tactical aspect of how I think that a player is going to now emerge and be cohesive with a group of players that we have, and where I see them now developing what we want to do next with another player, of course, it's more in between the sporting director, in this case, Bert, myself, and all the scouting department. Okay. Well, to be fair, sometimes it's been a thoughtful decision and sometimes it's been an opportunity. Sometimes it has been luck. You make your own luck in this life, you know. But yeah, there's an element of understanding the league, having competed in the league obviously brings adaptation, time lower and risk lower. The best thing is when you have talent in the building because you have known them already for many years. And yeah, again, people don't care about this. Like, all people want to hear about is recruitment. And don't get it twisted, me the same. Recruitment is the sexiness. There's so much that Arteta has to do from a tactical and technical aspect, developing the current players that we have, taking them to a new level. We all know who. These are the things that are as important as bringing in certain things. You look at Jurgen Klopp. You remember when Jurgen Klopp walked in at Liverpool, they played the same way they did from minute 0 to minute 90. They were quite crap defensively. They started the year before they actually brought in Van Dijk and Alisson. Tactically, they became a bit street smart. They did everything they needed to. Clearly, Michael Edwards and Klopp and everyone, you saw the recruitment. Then they got the creme de la creme signings and they kept it moving. But nobody cares about developing talents. Everyone's just going to focus on recruitment. It very much is an English thing. I don't really want to hear that, man. Odegaard of finishing strongly in the summer plans. Big up, Martin. I don't really want to hear that right now. We might cover that in the next stream. Apparently, Mikel Arteta has heaped praise on Kai Havertz for his physical transformation during his hamstring injury. There's been a transformation in his body. The last 3 years in his career have been so condensed that he hasn't had time to do that. And this has been a window and he really wanted to use it. Credit to Kai Havertz, but I don't want to hear about this. The staff explained the opportunity that is with his physique to go to a different level. He got on board with that. You can see his presence. I think he destroyed all the metrics that we had in the gym for the last 10 years. Arteta, you know what? You got a sense of humor, your own banter. All of them, power, acceleration, muscle mass, the way that he has increased certain capacities in his body, his agility, he's been incredible. I was talking to the medical staff the other day. They were talking about that. For someone that has not been in the team to have that mindset, the only thing he has done is raise the standards in the building, because the other ones who were injured were looking at him saying, I'm going to look bad if I don't do the same. Cool story, dog. Cool story, my brother. We've gone over that as well. Ben White's apparently given an interview. Ben White sets Arsenal target. Okay. Ben White claims Arsenal will reluctantly accept another second place finish. There's no reluctance. You have to accept it. The man them finished second, assuming Newcastle don't win their next 2 games, excluding obviously today. I don't want to hear that. There's no way, whether you want to accept it or not, like, you're not going to finish first. So everybody needs to look in house. And I'm going to say this again. The majority of my sympathy is with the fans and the players. It's as simple as that. What has our right back said? Obviously, we can't win it, but we still want to do as well as possible, get second place, which is really important. We just want to win games, which we know we can. Fair play. This season, we've had a difficult time with injuries, and I think we've done well with that. You see other teams that have had big injuries, and they're not sitting very well in the league, which is true. But we're not like most teams. Whatever people say, we're one of the best in the league. We've been spoken about wanting to win trophies. So let's not, what other teams below us are doing, that's their business. We're a good team. Great teams get over the line, regardless of what's thrown at you. I don't want to hear this in general. Not necessarily with Ben White. Big him up, man. Ben White, Spartan. You're right with that. So yes, we had some big injuries, and I believe that is credit to all the players that have come in and done so well. Fair play. I've never really been injured before. I didn't really know how to deal with it as well as I probably could have. So it's all a learning curve. It's just so long not doing what you love. Careful. They say you don't watch football, so you don't care, Ben White. And not being able to help the team was tough. I'm back now, feeling good, and I think it's about getting ready for next season. I'm having a baby this summer. Seems like everyone is, isn't it? So I'm going to be in England training every day and getting back to my best. Is something so exciting and probably the most valuable thing you can have. I'm definitely available. I spoke to him a few times. He's such a nice man, very honest. I mean, Ben White, get fit. You know, Tuchel will put you on a plane. Obviously, I haven't been back for so long. It's just about playing now and hopefully making my way in. Seeing JT Jurian Timber come back from an ACL. He's had to play every game and has done so well. It would have been ideal if I could have helped and maybe taken a bit of stress off him. Again, I feel sorry for the players. I think it's a great situation for everyone. We're two completely different fullbacks. So it's nice to have different options and different qualities to bring to the team. Fair play. What else has he said? I think you could say that about all the players. It's so funny. He hasn't trained for months yet. Came back into the team the other day and was still unbelievable. Players, big up you lot. Now, Gyökeres scored yesterday, and He's got a cup final against Benfica to worry about, but he scored some vital goals in which helped seal Sporting Lisbon's league title, and he was in tears. Maybe he's overcome with emotion for what he's achieved. Maybe it's because he knows his days in Portugal are numbered. And there's still reports that say talks are advancing between Gyökeres and Arsenal's reps. He's emerging as the number one choice, and it seems there's a willingness from all parties to get the deal done. The player is happy to come, and Sporting are happy to sell for just over 60 million. 56 games, 62 goals, and 17 assists. Now, I don't think you're going to have them. I hope so, but if you sign for Arsenal, I don't think you're going to get them monster stats. But even if you could get half or a quarter, my maths is poor. I don't know for a quarter. Admittedly, people smash the like button. It could help. Just take the risk, man. Just do this. Apparently, he has said he doesn't know what the future holds for him amid reported interest from Arsenal, Chelsea, and Manchester United. He's going to play the game, innit? You're not going to talk up the things. But what has he said? It's football. I'm still here. I don't know what's going to happen. Nobody can predict the future. He sounds like me on his politician wave. I'm very happy. It was a game that went well for us. Very happy to score and win. Everything is everything. It's what we wanted. Incredible. You can see the support. We've had so many people in the streets, not just today, but even when it's raining in November and December. It's incredible when there are so many people now. We want to celebrate together. We're in a final. We want to win in the finals. We play the finals to win. But now we want to celebrate and not think about that. Get the trophies, head to North London. William Saliba has been given an interview. He was asked the best forward he's faced in his career. He said Mbappe. Mind games have started. Do you prefer facing him or playing with him? Playing with him, of course. It's much better to play with him. Now, obviously, he's going to say that. He could be referring to France. Could be saying Mbappe heading to N5. We all know what is now going to be the drop-off with that. We are going to lose Saliba one day. Hopefully, it's when we achieve something. Hopefully, it's not for free like Trent Alexander-Arnold, but at least, like, if Saka was to leave, like, let's use Saka because Saka and Trent, they're both homegrown players, yeah. If Saka left tomorrow, left on a free, God forbid, there's the element of what if. I'm sure Trent could win a lot more at Liverpool, but he's won everything, done everything, fair enough. That's what I hope is the case when these players are leaving. I've seen Thierry Henry leave. I don't really care about it in the grand scheme of things. We all know Arsenal plan to hold Saliba contract talks. This article has said Real Madrid have a big job on their hands. I think Xabi Alonso is going to revolutionize Real Madrid. I actually think he's going to be the best manager in the world one day. And Spain got a lot of good managers. Arteta, Areola, obviously Xabi Alonso. Cesc Fabregas is linked with Leverkusen and doing his thing at Como. With the manager leaving, they could look to make big changes, and centre-back is a key area for that. Saliba has been one they've looked at, but Arsenal don't want to lose him. Apparently, Real Madrid want to still, in relation to the Bournemouth lad, they're still targeting Konate and Saliba. And especially if Xabi Alonso plays a back three. I think one thing I like about Xabi Alonso is he changes things. I've seen him play a back four and a back three, but Real Madrid need a tactical kind of man. Getting him tied down to a new contract is going to be a real priority for them, and they're planning to hold talks with him in the summer. They'll offer him a big new deal because he's an important part of the team and plans for the future. One thing that will have come as a positive to Arsenal is the talk about Dean Housen. It looks like he's the one Real Madrid want this summer and are going to push for, so that could make them ease away from Saliba. I mean, they've shown with Trent, with Mbappe, no doubt, with a Konate, with a Saliba, whoever you say that, they will wait. Real Madrid are not going anywhere. Just make sure you get the man under contract. If he goes, get a good fee. In Berta, we trust. People, there's 200 of you locked in. There's only 44 likes. You lot are violating, man. Come on, people. Mods, come on, mods. Make sure people are smashing their like button. It helps, man. Come on, come on. Don't smash the like button. Arsenal ain't doing anything. Apparently, Real Madrid's Brazilian sensation, Rodrigo, is currently locked in contract extension negotiations with the club's management. Despite both parties expressing a strong desire to continue with each other, a final agreement has yet to be reached, which is a bit different where Rodrigo's links are concerned in the last few weeks and days, leaving the winger's future in the Spanish capital hanging in the balance. This has allowed encouragement to Arsenal to make a move for the Real Madrid star in the summer transfer window. Arteta is looking to make attacking additions to his squad. Well, Rodrigo's a myth. God knows what they're going to ask for and his wages, and there's a lot to do. It's a myth. It's a myth. We're not getting him. By all means, hold me accountable if I'm wrong. We know he's versatile. He's got 13 goals and 10 assists and 50 appearances in all comps. Not really good, but he does provide dribbling ability, pace, and has a knack for scoring and his quality. So this is saying with contract negotiations. As I've said before, maybe Rodrigo sold, not necessarily to Arsenal, but elsewhere. Maybe he's had a conversation with Xabi Alonso. At Real Madrid, a lot of decisions are above board. It doesn't necessarily matter what the manager feels. But if you're Rodrigo and you do feel disillusioned at Real Madrid per se, surely you're going to have, if you haven't, have a conversation with the new incoming manager, Xabi Alonso, before you are set on your ways of leaving. Surely. Because what if Xabi Alonso, and managers are liars, but what if Xabi Alonso says, you know what, I hear that. You feel that Mbappe, Vinicius, this one, that one, they get more love than you. I'm building the team around you. What if he says that? And he's set for a hefty price tag. We all knew that. He's been linked with Chelsea, Man City, Arsenal, Paris Saint-Germain, Saudi Arabia. Everybody knows Rodrigo is going to come with serious price tag. The Spanish Giants have set a valuation of around 130 to 140 million euros for the Brazilian star, a price tag reflective of his talent and potential. If an agreement is not reached, Real Madrid may be forced to consider his sale. As you can see here, people, while there's been considerable interest from major European clubs, no formal talks have taken place yet. Along with Arsenal, Paris Saint-Germain, and Liverpool, closely monitoring the situation of the Brazil attacker. Real Madrid, however, remains optimistic that an agreement can be reached to keep Rodrigo at the club. Apparently, we've already sealed the signature of Zubamendi, even though there's still hijack talks with Xabi Alonso and Real Madrid. You lot know I want Rayan Cherki. I don't think Arsenal are in the race. Apparently, he's announced that he's going. Apparently, as a gentleman's agreement, the 21-year-old could leave his current employers for 22.5 million euros. So what's that? 19 million pounds? Bring him, man. Liverpool, City, Spurs are interested. With how Slot plays, and there's not as much as Klopp, but an emphasis on intensity. And again, we've never heard from any official channels that any of these clubs are interested. But if Liverpool think he can work hard off the ball, why can't we? The same goes for Pep and City, where probably City's the best example, where it's all structured and all of that jazz. Tottenham hot shite. I mean, it's a small club. They're playing young players. There's no real pressure or expectations. You can see Man United cancelling their trophy parade for the Europa League. Spurs undoubtedly won't do that. If Rayan Cherki wants to make an intermediate step, play at a small club, play without pressure, learn, and then depart for a bigger club, if he did sign for Spurs, then I get it. I have to throw shade, you know, the vibes, people. And you would have seen this week as well. Arsenal's determination to complete transfers quickly this summer has left European rivals, including Barcelona, stunned. The Gunners' speed in lining up targets has forced others to recalibrate and rethink their own strategies. Sane has rejected the offer of a new contract at Bayern Munich and mid-links with the Premier League and La Liga. He's expected to become a free agent this summer, says Sky Germany. Napoli will target a move to sign Kivior again this summer, but they want Arsenal to lower their 30 million asking price. No. Pay or take it away. Lie that, man. Forget all of that. Xavi Simons, as we've heard, like Sesko, wants to leave Leipzig this summer, and apparently Leipzig can't get Champions League football, so that adds fuel to the fire. Would you spend 80 million euros on Xavi Simons, people? Please let me know. Xabi Alonso apparently is still keen for Real Madrid to beat Arsenal to the signing of Martin Zubamendi. I have covered this. Who knows with Zubamendi, man? Who really knows with Zubamendi? What is this? Arsenal still linked with Igor Jesus, the 24-year-old who's only played in Brazil and the Middle East. Don't know if I believe that, so I'm not really going to give it time. Barcelona apparently back on the Nico Williams foul. In the coming weeks, signing a winger remains Deco's main priority, and Nico Williams is back on the radar. Some notable departures are expected in defense. Fair enough. Anyone having Kevin De Bruyne? I'm speaking to clubs about my future. Yes, I want to play good football, whatever the decision. Staying in England, it depends who comes. I have family, kids. I have to take care of a decision that suits everybody. The decision is complex. Anyone taking a chance on him at Arsenal? We've gone over that already. So good, it's twice. How much do you lot think Eze is worth, man? I'm all on signing Eze. Apparently, Spurs have a strong advantage over Arsenal in signing Eze, according to reports. What is this? And City. He's determined to play Champions League. Okay. I don't think we're going to buy Eze. I'd love him. Contracted until 2027, though. If Eze refuses to sign a new contract at Palace, he'll enter the final 12 months of his contract. What better way to leave? And he did leave Arsenal and cried and whatnot when he got released as a youngster. Liverpool are yet to table a firm offer for Gyökeres, who was linked with Real Madrid, but that doesn't seem to be happening. We need a left back. Would you take Gyökeres for 45 million? Apparently, Liverpool are also eyeing Joel Hato, who I would prefer, and I think he's quality, man. We were linked this week with Guirassy, who has 75 appearances and 76 goal contributions over his last two seasons for Stuttgart. Tried the accent thing, he did it bang, but God loves a trial. And Dortmund. So yeah, Emi Martinez. Imagine that we had all these keepers at once, and they were all meaty. But at the time, they were all meaty. Martinez has offers from Manchester United and Barcelona, as well as the Middle East. Barcelona, massive club. I'm sure Messi's putting a word in. Man United, Emi Martinez. If you think you can't take Onana's spot, another massive club, there's something wrong. Who knows what's going to happen there? And we've gone over that. And what is this? Don't forget, people, in 2 hours' time. So that probably means it's not exactly 2 hours then, is it, YouTube? But we will be doing a watch along for Newcastle. So yeah, that is the transfer bit. What are you lot saying? Bro, like the thing is, we're not even it's stale, it's gone stale. What phase is Galaznia in? Cherki is the player I want because he covers all attacking positions and his dribbling looks like Carrot Skeeler. It's true. And one thing I'd say is people like to say, oh, he's not, he's not going to fit the system. He's not going to work hard off the ball. Whether Cherki goes to whatever big club he goes to, you think he knows he's not going to work. It's not big fish in small pond. And if you even think that, it's all about his attitude because he's got the technical level. I'm not saying it's easy, but surely it's easy to learn where you need to stand on a football pitch, which you would get if you went for City and working hard and all of that kind of jazz. Cherki, get it done tomorrow, man. But it's not going to happen. But the dream is free, man. Apart from when he doesn't play. I'm not sure what you're saying there, Frank, but yeah, man. Spurs turned their trophy room into an indoor go-karting track. To be fair, they could go and win. Yeah, I tried the thing, man. I don't believe 100. I think it'd be more like 150, that relation to the transfer market. I'm a Liverpool fan. I wear sunglasses when I look in our trophy cabinet. Missed out on Eze last summer. You got a bid for people to be missing that out, if I'm honest. Dortmund are also in the race for Cherki. We qualified for the UCL. I mean, Cherki's going to have bare suitors. I understand the law of the Premier League. I understand if you'd go to a Dortmund and whatnot. Bit shocked that he's available for this cheap, man. Man, I calling Rodrigo mid just shows me you man want to suffer with Josh. I mean, if Rodrigo's mid, we're in trouble, blood. Smash the like button. We all want Eze, man. Yeah, skip past Rodrigo. Could sign Eze and Yildiz Cherki for the same amount and resolve 2 positions. Lining up and linking with players, but how many have they actually signed? This is the Arsenal way. I mean, until players are holding shirts, who knows? But it's a good talking point. Unless you're like Nelson Watkins, who said, no, bro, no one cares. You got to ask yourself then, if you're here at 7 minutes past 1 p.m. and you don't care, bearing in mind, the internet is the greatest tool. We wouldn't have this great platform without it. Why don't you go and learn something on YouTube? So, yeah, man. Hey, Tottenham Ranger, careful. I said, dusty club, supporting Spurs. Make sure you win what you need to. How long's the dude been at Real? He's ish. Man, I'm calling Rodrigo shit. This is crazy. Would you take Wolves' number 9 as second choice striker? Trent been talking to Madrid since the 2022 Champions League final. There you have it. And at some point, Liverpool should have bit the bullet and said, yo, I can hear it. They need to convince him. But at some point, the decision makers at Liverpool, if you didn't want a man to walk for free, a bit like what we need to do with Saliba, and maybe based on reports, you don't need to learn with Kanai. At some point, all right, you're not signing a new deal by X amount, no matter how much it hurts, you need to go. And it's more that, do you know what? It's more Liverpool fans on social media. Like there's one, I mean, he's a UFC don, so I want to diss dons from afar, but saying that Trent Alexander-Arnold shouldn't be at the parade. Get the fuck out of here. A man that's played a key role in winning a title shouldn't be at the parade. Get out of here, man. People are sour, bro. Too sour for all football fans. Too tribal. I think football's become a bit too tribal, man. It's jarring, bro. Like, it's jarring. I'm not telling people they can't be upset about Trent, but jarring, bro. Arteta don't decide how much to buy or how much to play his players. It's the board. Look at the bigger picture. You can't just absolve him. Has Arteta controlled all the controllables? And again, if Arteta believes that, fair enough. But if you feel that the board are not backing you and supporting you, then leave. Respectfully, leave. Because you can't, regardless of that, you must feel you can achieve what you need to achieve. Or you wouldn't have signed the new deal. The same goes for Berta. If you feel that you can't achieve what you want to achieve at this football club, why are you signing here? You can't absolve it. Because despite that, as much as I might agree with it, and I don't think there's one singular point, the board showed faith in Arteta to give the man the job anyways. People love to say, who would we get? They gave him the job where there was no track record. The best track record there was watching a documentary where he worked with Sterling and Sane. They've allowed him to rip up contracts. They've allowed him to get rid of captains. And I'm not saying these things are wrong. They've allowed him to take a world-class number 6, our record signing, which I actually like Rice in the 8 now, and make him an 8. How far does that go? Nobody's going in or out of this club without it. And I'm not blaming the board. I'm just saying you can't always just... It can't just be, it's the board's fault, it's this one's fault, it's that one's fault, and it's never the gaffers. Everybody's in this together, and even us fans. Same way if we was winning, large up yourselves. Because when we finished second last season, was it the board's fault? Was it the board's fault the year before? I don't know. You can't just be blaming them. And even with that, I'm not saying you're wrong, but we don't know what's going on. You're just going to paint whatever narrative you want in your head. You could get Isaac for the same price as Rodrigo. We're getting neither, man. Yeah, man, I do think Spurs are probably going to end up winning that Europa. Of course, I want to be wrong. If you're Onslaught after hearing all the boos at Anfield, would you play Trent last game at Anfield? Yeah, get your little send off. Simple as that. Get your little send off, man. Get your little send off. If I'm completely honest with you, get your little send off. It's Trent's last game at Anfield. You know what? Life's funny. I'm pretty sure before Trent retires, in fact, I don't know. I reckon he returns to Liverpool in some capacity. But yeah, because one, Trent might be, I don't even know who Liverpool have. You could use it as a chance to kind of play Bradley and obviously Frimpong's apparently having his Liverpool medical on Monday, but I don't know who Liverpool have, and there's nothing for them to play for in the league. But Slot, he's here. You might as well utilize him while he's here, especially with what he gives you. And yeah, give him a send off. When it's all said and done, what you can't do is you can criticize him, you can call him. I don't agree with it, but you can call Trent a snake and this and that. What you can't do is downplay what he's done for Liverpool and what he means to Liverpool, and say goodbye, innit? Newcastle just feel like scissors to our paper. We have to play our best game of the season today. DJ, I think next season we might have another all-English Europa League final. EPL money starting to translate into results. I hear that, but it'd be nice if we could get him. DG, why did you say forget about Rodrigo? If we're a big club, we should act like want to go for the best players. I hope we get him. But I'm saying forget about all of these things until I see them walk through the door. I'm more than happy to do the talking thing. But yeah, man. I watch DG because he don't spit hate like most other YouTubers. Appreciate that. Listen, we run a laugh, and Marcel will tell you we laugh, we joke, we banter, but I also feel there has to be a degree of just being an honest football lover, man. I do feel social media is about rage bait and outrageous things. It's never just about talking about the sport that we love, man. I haven't been to the indoor go-karting thing at Spurs, but to be fair, I do hear Spurs' facilities are mad. Cherki won Dribbler of the Year in Liga presented by Hazard would be a perfect signing for the attack plus cheap release clause. It's got a chip on his shoulder, though, mate. Are they going to go for it? You know, it is with those kind of plays. Apart from Nico and Rodrigo, who else is there that's levels? Honestly, I don't know. Ain't no real player who goes for cheap. He'd be 100 million self if, yeah. Bros don't want Rodrigo, but want Nico Williams, who demands 300 grand for a week. Listen, Rodrigo, Nico Williams, bring someone in. I don't really rate the left-sided options, really. Like, there's obviously players I would take. Obviously, would love Nico Williams, would love Rodrigo, but after that, who really stands out on that left-hand side? There's guys that could play there. I wouldn't mind. There's you could play a bunch of roles, but there's not really left-wing options that are really evidently standing out. Play Butler or Deji, it'd be nice. Give me Mudryk for 10 M's. Sadly, most likely, Cherki and Cunha go United if they pull players at 16th. Arsenal have no excuses. Rafael, I'd have him. Big money. I like him, but I can't say I'm 100. They don't 100% convince me. Don't 100% convince me. Put Gyökeres in the bag. Amen. Rodrigo would do madness. Sterling on the left. Jamaican tax. Sterling. I tried, bro. No one can say I didn't try. I tried, bro. I'm not. It's gone past that now, bro. Just forget that. Mbappe scored 40 goals this season. Trent easily adds 10 to that. You get it. And they were calling Mbappe a flop. Enticing the fans on the day, though, no. What do you mean, Dan? What do you mean? I'm not sure what you're referring to. Let me know, man. Let me know, man. What phase for me is this? Shout out Lee, but I don't know what that means. Fair enough, man. I don't know where that guy's playing, but I'm an op. Don't tell DG. I take Rodrigo for that price. He's worth it to be a star. I'm having him. Rodrigo and Gyökeres, and we win a cup double. Boy, Rodrigo gives me Alexis vibes. Underappreciated at Real would level up our left-hand side. A lot of them Madrid players, you know, once you leave that, it is like Alexis in that. When you're around, like, you don't really stand out as much when you're around all those stars. Imagine that. He leaves, it would see his quality. I don't think he leaves Real Madrid for what it's worth this summer. Stranger things have happened. Weirder things have happened. You never know. Where's Edu now? Probably getting a barbecue. DG, Sane or Rashford? Sane. He's going to probably sign less years on his contract. Rashford and Martinelli, I'll lose my... yeah, bro. I'll go mad. I do agree Mikel can overcoach our teams as players. Hope he changes it for next season. The players need the players' creativity needs to dictate the play. I think Arteta, there's a trade-off in it because you like to control games and stuff, but I'm mainly thinking the final third, we're robbing our players of individual brilliance. I think he needs to like release the shackles a bit, and maybe a bit like, obviously it's not the same, but you look at someone like Klopp as well, but you could say Slot. Trent, I think people exaggerate how bad Trent is defensively, but he's not at the traditional stuff that a right back needs to do. Trent's pony. He's great at all the other stuff, right? Clearly, Slot and Klopp previously, they find a way around that. Like Trent might go to sleep. Let me put this 6 here so it kind of protects him. And then you could extend that to Salah. We all seen the interview where, Salah basically said, let me stay further up the pitch. I'll make the business happen here. Obviously, Slot's probably rejigging and making sure you've got numbers. It's a trade-off. He needs to be on adapting. Sane, Rashford, Sancho, Sterling, and Gnabry. Out of all of them, oof, it's a shame that their stock's all on the floor, innit? Out of all of them, I'm gonna say Sterling. Yardman settings. Nah, let me be serious. I'll take the present day Sane over the rest of them. It's mad. Wenger would have moved heaven and earth for Cherki at that price. True Emirates error signing. Also, big up yourself, DGA. One love, and you're right. He just ain't got a defensive bone in his body, but a trade-off. Like, I do think players have got to improve, yeah. But then there's an element of, I do think you have to accept some footballers for what they are. Like, Trent is never going to wake up and be great defensively. So what? Just focus on what he's good at. Try and hide the deficiencies. And this goes for every player and keep it moving. People conveniently ignore the fact that the reason we play sideways ball is because we don't have anyone to cross to. Gyökeres solves that. That's true, but there's been times where we've had someone to cross to and we ain't crossed the ball, rude boy. I can't lie, you lot are boying it, man. When I go away from you, away from YouTube, you're not gonna miss me. There's 200 of you here. Appreciate the 79 likes. How have we not got 100 likes? You lot are horrible people, man. Horrible, horrible people. Just saw Arteta's Sky Sports interview, brother, is nothing but excuses. I don't think a lot of them are necessarily excuses or without some logic behind them, but at the end of the day, winners win and losers explain. And in these last 3 years, brother, we've done a lot of explaining, man. If we spend 150 million on Gyökeres and Rodrigo, that's perfect. We need top quality in the front, not quantity. Yeah, but then where's the other money for whatever the club wants to do? Signing Rodrigo could be the modern day Pep signing if Madrid is willing to let him go, do something up front. I said enticing the fans by bringing Trent on. Fans just going to boo again. Makes a circus of the game unnecessarily. Doesn't matter the result either way. They've already won it. You are right. You are right. But yeah, you're right, to be fair. But then you got to probably consider the trade-off, because let's just say 50 fans are booing. But negative people are quite vocal in life. Anyways, let's just say 50 Liverpool fans are booing Trent. What about the 100 people that want to give him a send-off and whatnot? It's one where you can't really win in it. Like, I'm not a Liverpool fan. I can't talk of Liverpool, but probably puts a bit of a downer on the parade when it happens and stuff. But how much of a downer could it put on anything? Because Trent's announced he's leaving now, so it's an acceptance thing. You've won the league. I hear it. There's no real way to win it, innit, really? Semenyo. I like him, but I'm not going to say I'm 100% convinced. And then he's like 70 million. Like, I'm not 100% convinced. Don't get it twisted. Some of the names, or the majority of the names you lot have said, bring them. I'm on that. Arteta definitely doesn't dictate what the likes of Saka and Martinelli do in the final domain. That's in the final third. That's their domain. Yeah, but everything's a reflection of the manager. When it goes right, it's all the gaffer. Nothing is ever Arteta's fault. It's either all his fault or never his fault. There's nothing. And where Martinelli's concerned, I look at the club, so that's Arteta, that's the recruitment, bro. You're bringing a bread knife to a gunfight. How many times are we going to say the same thing? If nothing changes, man. A moment of silence until we get over 100 likes. I hear it, my guy. I hear it. I wonder how Arteta sets up against Newcastle today. I'm not going to say I don't care, because I love to watch Arsenal, but have we not checked out of this season already? My energy is probably going to be towards supporting Man United for 90 minutes to, prevent certain teams from winning certain things, man. Gyökeres don't head of the ball like that. We got to change the system. Can't just be crossing for no reason. He works on cutbacks. Still don't know who we end up getting. I like Gyökeres' physicality. I'm cool, pardon me, with Sesko, with Gyökeres. I'm at the point now, bro. Just get a striker, fam. Like, just get a striker, and we'll talk about it once we get it. Just get a striker, man. Just get a striker. I'm French Arsenal, so I know very well the French football, and Rayan Cherki is an amazing player. We also pass sideways because our system asks our wingers to not run in behind. I don't agree with the running in behind part, man. Gyökeres, bro, you can score headers. Like, trust me, you can score headers. I know what people are saying. You can score headers. You can score goals for us. Can't check out. I still see us not getting champs if we do what we've been doing. It's not even check out. It is what it is mode now. Like, it is what it is. Gyökeres does score, does head the ball. Sorry, just hasn't needed to watch his Coventry goals. To be fair with you, I don't care how he scores, bro. Tap-ins off your shin, off your ear. Just someone that can put the ball in the back of the net, man. Pretty sure it was seeing you on TFT. What's TFT? Oh, the Football Terror. I shout out Football Terror. Shout out Terry and that brought me here. But sub today and liked. Big up DG. I like how you take time to interact with the people. Respect to you, Dan. Appreciate that. Without you lot, there'd be no platform. What's the point? And it's a bit weird because a lot of you regular users, you ain't got your display pictures. Obviously, I can only hear my own voice, but it'd be boring, innit? Like, it'd be boring. Like, I always say, like, I like the different opinions and the different thoughts and different points of view and the highs and lows. Like, have to make time for you lot across Twitch and YouTube, man. As I said, just bring me a striker, though, man. Just bring me a striker. Like, literally, just bring me a striker. We hit 100 likes. I know this ain't a DG Nation badge, but big up you lot, man. As a Newcastle fan, Arsenal are not beating us by crossing the ball. It's food and butter. You got something, bro, crossing the ball where you got like a 10-foot Viking giant like in Dan Burn. It's not going to work, man. As a Newcastle fan, Arsenal not beating us by crossing the ball. Quick balls in behind our back foot and maybe smash the likes, people. Thanks for taking 5 seconds out of your lives to like the vid. Appreciate you. I mean, if anything, like, I just want to beat Newcastle because you've had our number in it. Like, you've had our number. And to be fair, in the last few years, like, Newcastle have always been the ones to spoil things, like semi-finals, that game in the league where Joe Linton done the elbow thing or the VAR goal. I would say the worst Newcastle defeat in recent years, probably. Do you remember a couple of years ago where we was fighting for top 4 and we lost to them lot down the road and we lost to you lot? Even the one in the Premier League. When we lost to you lot at St. James's Park, it was more of a thing of, yeah, we lost, but I don't like the way we turned up. Like, especially, like, you go to Anfield, which we did all right at Anfield this year. You go to Anfield, you go to Newcastle away, like, you don't know if you're going to win, but them games there, you need to be on it. If you're on it and everything's there, fair play, but it weren't there, especially in the, fucking hell, mate, the League Cup, man. Like, yeah, if nothing more, just, yeah. And at the end of the day, you're playing for pride, because if Newcastle go win their next 2 games, they've won a trophy. Eddie Howe's doing a great job, but, you know, they've won a trophy. They would have been second. There's more eyes on certain people. And I think people are hypocritical. I know the logic. It doesn't really matter. If you don't win the league, as long as you get champs, you don't care. Obviously, for the club care about paper. They care about money. Obviously, everyone gets money in the Prem, but depending on where you finish, there's more bread. And if you finish second and you're in the semi-finals, financially, you lot are ticking over. If you drop out of that people that say they don't care about finishing second, they're going to be the same people. And we're all sensible. Nobody here is bragging about finishing second. But if you go and finish below second, those same people that don't care about second are going to say, oh, look, you bottled first and now you bottled second and this and that. DG, do you think Arsenal will score a goal against Newcastle? Brother, all we can do is pray for him. You know what? Yeah, F it. 3-1 Arsenal, man. Martinelli, Bukayo Saka. Kai Havertz go off the bench. Newcastle allow us, man. Arsenal should take contact with Buena's agent. Apparently, he's going to Atletico Madrid. Semenyo will come to Arsenal only because his long throws. Bring him. Him and Partey either side. Brazy. Hi, DG. I just feel Arsenal's transition is so cantankerous and damn slow. It's got to change, man. I feel like we need to inject more life into this team again, man. 3 years ago when Bruno Gomares and Callum Whitty, dark, bro, dark, like very, very dark, man. When we had a striker in number 29, we ripped City 5-1. Go watch that game again. Watch what happens with a striker. I hear that, man. What about the one we were 3-0 up and lost 4-3? Lost 4-3? I only remember drawing 4-4. RIP Toyota. Crazy game of football, man. Newcastle, I don't know, man. I don't know, man. Can't lose to Newcastle for the fourth time this season. That's mad. I remember that game. Xhaka was tearing the team apart after that defeat. Yeah, he was. And he was saying, if you're scared, stay at home, blood. And he's right for that. Nah, Dan, it's cool. Nah, Dan, it's cool. I'm just saying, man. Like, we got family here, man. DG been different. That's why I support the man. I appreciate that. AFC Max, one love for the super chat, my boy. Hey, DG, big up from Australia. Love for the love. Word to Turkish, love for the love. Shout out the Aussies, man. Good day, mate. I need to go Australia, to be fair. Don't look like how they make it sound. It actually looks quite kind of good. I don't want to go to the Outback and whatnot, but yeah, man. Big up yourself, man. Big up the Aussies. Big up all of you lot around the world. DG, surely the next Lamine Yamal is already lining up in La Masia. Arsenal should explore options there. Why not, man? Yeah, I watched him at Coventry. He's good in the air, but that's not his usual service that he prefers. Whereas our system is mainly based on crosses, headers, we've got to switch it up a bit more. They've got to switch it up then. Just bring me a striker, man. Like, just bring me a striker. Like, Gyökeres, Hugo Ekitike. I know we're not getting Isaac, but throw his name in there. Isaac, Watkins. Like, I just want a striker. Bring me the striker and we'll critique and praise and talk about concerns later. Just bring me a forward. Just bring me a forward. There's no way around it. I need to feel that my striker is going to bag. We're winning 6-0. Eddie Howe's onto us, man. Even the way he's talking is, I don't know why our players are getting linked with clubs where Eddie Howe's on violence today, man. I'm good, Junior, man. I hope you're doing better. We don't have difference makers, but Bruno had a goal assist at every final for United. Yeah, and that's the difference, man. We need Bruno Fernandes, not Odegaard. I think Odegaard is a better player than Bruno. On the ball, all of that stuff. But Bruno's a better captain. Bruno's got more heart. Bruno don't go into a shell, bro. Like, Odegaard, you don't know how much I love him, but you go into a shell, bro. We need more trench dons. Arteta was saying it was a disgrace, was the worst thing to give Newcastle to use as something to fight for. Boy, it's dark, man. Arsenal v Liverpool game is a game that always has goals. This best rivalry for Arsenal. I love those matches. But I'm just happy that at least when you know what, one of the nicest things now is at least when we concede goals, Isaac's been terrorizing us, but mainly against Liverpool. At least when Salah scores, like, it's proper goals. Not that he didn't score proper goals before, but you used to have Rob Holding and Chambers. They're bumping heads and running into each other. It's like Chuckle Brothers. At least we look like competent ballers. Zubi pulling strings and striker movement will unlock Odegaard and balance that right side bias. Yeah, man, I'm past the point of, I know about players and relations and that, but all this unlocking business, I'm past it with Martinelli. I'm past it with Odegaard. Just everyone put their big boy Calvin Klein's on and just play fucking good football, man. Hold this season. You've been shit this year. Pattern up for next year. I think Newcastle have conceded one goal from a corner this season. Touch wood. What I would say, Newcastle, whether it's from dead balls or open play chances, you're near post. And if, man, not that any Arsenal player or any Arsenal coach is watching me, but near post. Newcastle's near post. That's our key. That near post. Matt Turner and Eddie winning trophies yesterday was funny. Trust the process. It's what football's about, man. You might think about the amount of footballers that play in leagues and cups and whatnot. Trophies are not a guarantee for players. So if you can get your hands on that and those moments and take pictures and you got stories to tell your kids, fair play, man. 4-4 epic game, man. Epic game. RIP check TRA, man. That's the only person I think of when I think of that game. But yeah, people, I'm well aware that you lot are probably bored of hearing my voice. I'm going to go get some Sunday breakfast and I'll see you lot at 3:30. So well, basically 2 hours, man, as usual. Thank you very much for tuning in, smashing the like button, interacting with the guy. Without you lot, it's tired, man. So yeah, I'll see you lot in a couple of hours. Big up yourselves. If you just tuned in, watch it on the replay. Check out the rest of the content. One love. And Arsenal, we need players with individual brilliance. I know one. I think he's a free agent.
Against this right back, Charlie's definitely.
Always